It was a rolling bean on the table that tipped me off to a terrifying truth. The watchtower we were stationed in had developed a severe lean. To make matters worse, the tower had taken a brutal beating from powerful storms over the years and was falling apart at the seams. The reactor had even sprung a minor leak during a massive tsunami. To counter the radiation exposure, we had no choice but to submit to a weekly IV injection. But radiation wasn't our biggest headache. The storms had swept away all our supplies, drinking water was completely gone, and the fridge was running on fumes. Just to stay alive, the four of us were rationing ourselves down to the bare minimum each day, just enough to keep our bodies functioning. We had been holding down this watchtower for exactly 2 years. By the book, a relief crew was supposed to rotate in every 2 years. But for reasons unknown, that deadline had long since passed, and our replacements were nowhere to be found. Just as we were hitting rock bottom, something strange caught my eye. During a guard shift, a ship was quietly closing in, yet it didn't show a single blip on the radar. Something was off. The captain immediately ordered our radio operator Amy to run an IFF check, but no matter how many times Amy held them, the other side stayed dead silent. My gut told me it was probably the relief ship, but the captain wasted no time hitting the alarm and ordered Mike to stand by on deck. I had my doubts, but orders are orders. I swung the gun turret around without a word. The unidentified vessel kept coming, and everyone's nerves were shot. Just as the shell was loaded and we were a breath away from firing, the captain suddenly changed his mind. Thinking there might be fellow soldiers on board, he ordered me to take the yacht out and get a closer look. I had no idea why he picked me, but a soldier's job is to follow orders, so I carried it out without a second thought. As I drew closer to the ship, the letters on its hull came into sharper focus. It was exactly the relief vessel we had been waiting and hoping for, but something wasn't right. There wasn't a soul in sight on deck. It just sat there like a ghost ship, drifting silently on the calm water. Pushing down the fear rising in my chest, I climbed aboard and started working my way through every corner of the ship. Inside the messy cabin, everything was blanketed in cobwebs. This vessel had clearly been abandoned for a long time. Pressing deeper into the ship, I stumbled across some personal belongings and even 4 sets of military-grade protective gear. I was almost certain these were the effects left behind by the crew, sent to relieve us, but the people themselves had vanished without a trace. At least the food supply was still intact. Starving as I was, I dug in immediately. What I didn't know was that back on the tower, the captain, unable to raise me on the radio, had concluded I was probably dead. In his mind, the only option left was to destroy the ship. But since it was now beyond the range of the cannons, that meant deploying the ultimate weapon, which required both him and Amy to insert their keys simultaneously to arm it. Amy clearly wasn't on board with the call, but he knew the price of defying a direct order. After a moment's hesitation, he handed over his key. The captain slotted both keys in, initiated the sequence, and quickly received the randomized launch code. Amy tried to say something, but the captain shut him down on the spot. It was right then that I finally remembered I'd switched off my radio. The moment I turned it back on, I nearly jumped out of my skin.
We've gone live. Repeat, we've gone live.
No one here. All clear.
The captain finally breathed a sigh of relief, ordered me to tow the ship back, and stood down the launch command. But when the keys were pulled out, the captain didn't return Amy's. As far as he was concerned, Amy's split-second hesitation in handing over the key during a critical moment had nearly cost them everything. Not long after, I towed the ship back to the tower.